For those of you who have been here before, you might have heard the song we're going to play for meditation. It's going to be a CD during meditation, and so you're welcome to sing along. a few minutes of that. That was a famous New Age recording, Sanskrit word, O Namah Shiva. But could you feel the difference between when we started the music and just as we ended? How we coalesced as a group? Could you feel that? I could feel that from the back, how we started to coalesce as one energy. That's going to be kind of part of my theme today. Individually, you are powerful, but collectively, we even have greater power. In fact, power to attract the right and perfect minister for this church. You have great power. Now add to that intention. The intentional thought of attracting whatever it is you want in your life. Doesn't come willy-nilly. It doesn't come by wishing. It comes by intention. I'm going to give you a powerful tool at the end of this to attract the right and perfect minister or anything you want in your life. And actually, it's interesting that you have a candidate, because I'll share with you later what I have been doing to get ready for today. But first, I forgot during the opening, I wanted to tell you that Dorothy says hello to everybody. Dorothy Fletcher, who is in a nursing home right now because she broke her hip. She actually didn't fall, it just gave out, and she had to have a hemiarthroplasty. So she's doing fine. She's the same spirited gal, a little slow in walking, but that'll all come. And she's going to sell her condo and go into assisted living in Port Washington, but she hopes to be back. And Lisa, something terrible happened to me in this church, right here, in this church. I did a funeral about a month ago. Wasn't it about a month ago? Huh? And the organist didn't show. So guess who had to lead the people in song? Me! No. Yes. Yes. I told Leanne and Cheryl, I am never talking to you guys again. As you all know, I couldn't carry a tune if you gave me a 5-gallon bucket. So, boy. But anyhow, I lived through it. We have often heard the expression, "Why me, Lord?" It's usually during a painful or a challenging time. But if you think about it, these last couple weeks in my particular personal life, I've been doing a lot, but my family got the flu, and I didn't. So that left me as caretaker for 5 puking individuals at this house and 1 at my house. And I thought to myself, why me, Lord? And then I thought, well, who would I want it to happen to? Really? Who would I want to do this? You often say, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Well, that's why that happened. So why us, Lord? Why us, Lord? Why us as a community are we still searching for a minister? Because you're strong enough to handle it. Because you are at the right and perfect time. You'll get through this, not by default, but by creative visualization and intention. Bruce Lipton says that humans really work well with repetitions, routines, and repetition. And that's how we program ourselves. The problem, however, is that our subconscious mind is overwhelming everything our conscious mind tries to tell it. It's overwhelming everything we consciously try to create. That's where the work needs to be done in cleaning out our subconscious. It is estimated that 5% of us is conscious and 95% is from the subconscious. So how's that working for us so far? Do you have in your heart what you truly desire, what you truly need, what you truly want? Because God wants it for you too. God wants what you want. Well, there's one caveat, if it's for the highest good of all. Don't forget that. God wants what you want, if it's for the highest good of all. We have all heard of genetics. Well, there's also something called memetics, which is briefly, a meme is a thought, belief, or attitude in mind that can and does spread to and from other people's minds. Just like the body can spread a flu virus, our minds can spread a thought virus. Once a meme is embedded in your subconscious, it can and will influence your behavior. So it's not only what we think it is, it's what other people have told us to think, and in reality, a lot of that was stinking thinking that we took for gospel. Our parents, our teachers, our friends. In fact, let me read you something from, I don't know what. It's a study on roundworms, if that isn't interesting, for those of you who like roundworms. But anyhow, the reason they did this study is because roundworms have a life expectancy of 50 days. And I suppose less when they cut them up, but anyhow, they did these studies on inherited. They believe, scientists have observed epigenetic memories being passed down for 14 generations. So we not only are what our parents thought, we are what our grandparents and their parents and their parents and their parents and their parents before them thought. We ain't got a prayer. Some research suggests that events in our lives can indeed affect the development of our children and perhaps even grandchildren, all without changing the DNA. For example, studies have shown that both the children and grandchildren of women who survived the Dutch famine in 1945 were found to have increased glucose intolerance in adulthood. Other researchers have found the descendants of Holocaust survivors have higher levels of the hormone cortisol, which helps your body bounce back after trauma. The latest study on nematodes is an important step towards understanding more about our epigenetic inheritance, especially because it serves as a remarkable demonstration how long-lasting effects are on generations. You don't have what you want because you are giving your power away to the subconscious of yesterday and the conscious, and forgetting the conscious creating moment of now. We have to clean out our subconscious. We are not what we were told we are. Of course, we always speak from here. We are a child of God. We are divine. We just don't believe that because we believe what we were told as a kid. And I've told this to Lisa before. I remember when I was in grade school, and I was in 7th grade, and I joined the choir. And at the end of our first practice, Sister John Leonard, I'll never forget her name, God rest in peace, told me that the concert that's coming up, Ginny, just mouth the words. So it took me years and years and years to sing, ever. And so that's why it was very traumatic when that organist didn't show up. But I got over it. You know, look how long things stay with us. Things we were told erroneously as a child by the most well-intentioned people in our lives, our parents, because were told the same thing. So if you want to live a better life, you have to live from the conscious moment of now. Now is all that matters. Doesn't matter what you wanted, what you had. All that matters is now. It doesn't matter that we're looking for a minister. It doesn't matter that I know there's somebody in this room that wants to see their grandchild in the worst way and hasn't been able to. That doesn't matter. You have to live from now. Plan what you're going to do. You have to let go of everything in our subconscious. That's hard to do because we're programmed. And it's just the study on the roundworm, sure, we're programmed back and back and back and back. So how do we Get out of that programming into the conscious moment of now. And I'm pretty sure that everyone in this room has something they really, 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 really want. I really, really, really wanted to win that $500 million lottery. Now I just really, really, really want to know the name of the lady who won it. So I can contact her and tell her we have a beautiful church that needs expanding or whatever. But anyhow, Harv Eker, who is a great writer, a great spiritual writer, said, when a thought comes into your mind you don't agree with or don't want anymore, just say, thank you for sharing, and choose another. Seems simple, doesn't it? But all Ginny's teachings are simple. Really. If you have something that comes into your mind, and what do we have? 60,000 thoughts a day? And it's not every thought that sticks. It's the one that repeat and repeat and repeat after ourselves that make these indentations in our gray matter. That's the thoughts that stick. So if you're having this thought that you want to think something differently, just say, thank you for sharing. There's science behind this, but I've only got 20 minutes. Thank you for sharing, and choose again. Choose differently. Choose another more empowering now thought. Choose a more life-affirming from who you really are. Choose your thoughts from who you really are. You are God in skin. That's who you are. You are God in skin. So choose from that knowledge. Don't just listen to it and hear it and read it in a book. That's who you are. But we don't know that because we're always doing what our subconscious tells us. Our subconscious is not bad, really, because do you have to tell yourself to breathe? No. Our subconscious is telling us. It's sending blood through our body. It's doing all these functions. So it's not the worst enemy, but it's the enemy of the mind. Because we can't move forward if we live from the past. We have to live in the now. We create from the now. I read something written by L.R. Knus that resonated. Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break. All things can be mended. Not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go, love, and act intentionally. The broken world waits in darkness for the light that is in you. Be it in your life, the life of your family, your workplace, and other relationships. But I'm going to get personal about the church. I can't tell you how important. If you come here often, if you come here once in a blue moon, I still can't tell you how important it is that we come together as a church community. The city of Sheboygan needs you. The state of Wisconsin needs you. The United States world needs you. The world needs you. They need light workers. That's what we are. We are light workers. There's enough darkness and there's enough chaos going on right now. We need to be a cohesive laser beam of light. In my work in the homeless shelter and the food pantry in Milwaukee, it's not the government doing the work. I work in Milwaukee and Racine at several different things. And it's not the government bringing foods to this people, coats, shoes, things like that. It's you and I. It's people helping people. It's people belonging to a caring community. We are energy. We are information and energy. Oh, and we're together in thought and action in the now. We are a creative, great big laser beam of light. Do you remember hearing the story about don't remember his name, in the spaceship when 9/11 happened? They could see from the spaceship the smoke and things. But within a few hours, they could see this huge light, beam of light. What was that? It was people praying for the United States, for the Twin Towers at the time. And the men in the spaceship it went from smoke and chaos to this beam of light. That was the energy of everybody united in one single thought. We get a new minister in the right time by two things. One is forgiveness. We get anything in our life by two things. The first is forgiveness. We got to forgive ourselves for every stupid thing we ever did. And there wouldn't be enough paper and pen in this room for me. I don't know about you guys, but we have to start with forgiveness with ourselves. And not that, oh, I'll forgive, but I can't forget. Forgive and forget. Forget about it. Because, chances to screw up are like a city bus. Here comes another one in 5 minutes. So you got to forget about it. You got to forgive yourself constantly. Did not Jesus say the last thing he said from the cross, and he could have said a billion different things. He chose the most greatest teaching of a Christian. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Now that was his greatest teaching. So the first thing is we forgive. We forgive everything every other board has done here, every other person that we didn't agree with. We forgive all of that, and we concentrate on your intention. You forgive everything, and then you laser that intention. You write that intention down. You let nothing sway you from that intention. I'm going to see my grandson in 3 months, like that. You have to laser your intention. And I'm going to teach you how to do it. And I've been doing it. I've taught you how to do this before. And I'm going to give the real quick version today because of time. But I've been doing this because it works. It's worked in my life. It's as all of you know, I've lost some weight. I've lost 60 pounds since you've known me. And that's not, I did it. That's not the hard part. Keeping it off is the hard part. But I do it by this intention I'm going to give you. There are currently 34 openings in Unity churches across the country. And so how are we going to compete with 34 other ones? There's an opening right now in Key West, Florida. Why am I not there? I don't know. All right. It's the one command. Anything you want in your life, anything that you don't have now, that you want, that is for the highest good of all. Now, don't forget that little bit, You can get with the one command. It's a book by Sarah Lovejoy. It's a seminar put on by Sonny Baim. It's all over the place, and it works. There's groups in Milwaukee that meet every other week to share with each other, and I am just amazed at the success stories of these people that come and share these things. So again, for those of you, and I gave out all these copies, the quick start for the one command, so there's another here if you want to keep it in the office and you can run it off. Leanne will be glad to do that for you. Won't you, Leanne? The one command works from theta consciousness, which is right before you fall asleep or when you're daydreaming. When I teach this, I think the most often question I get when I teach this is, it feels awkward to say, I don't know. Aren't you going against all you teach about affirmations and the law of attraction by saying, I don't know? No. The one command goes like this. I don't know how. Insert your intention. I only know it is now, and I am fulfilled and grateful. Now, if we did this out of the community every single night, let's say 8 o'clock, all of us separately in our homes or wherever we are, 8 o'clock, if we could do this every single night, it's not hard to remember. I bet if that candidate from Washington doesn't work out, there's one right behind it. But if you want that candidate for Washington to work out, then use this command. One command, I don't know how, and that just doesn't go for attracting a minister. It goes for how anything you want in your life, anything. And it has to be worded like this. Now, I can't give you all the whys, but trust me on this. I only know it is now, and I am fulfilled and grateful. I don't know how. Insert your intention. I only know it is now, and for that I am fulfilled and grateful. I don't know how is very powerful force of faith, and it cuts off your negative thinking. The I don't know part is a very powerful force of faith, and it cuts off your negative thinking. Because really, we don't know all the answers to everything. This is a thimble. Stick everything you know in this thimble, and you still have room to swim. Right? Because we don't know everything. We have to step out in faith, and that's what I don't know how. And insert your intention. I only know it is now, and I am fulfilled and grateful. And if you want to write that down, I suggest you write that down. And please, starting tonight, let's do that at 8 o'clock. And I guarantee you, I'm supposed to come back at Easter, but when you call me and say, we don't need you because we have a minister, I'll just come here and do cartwheels. How's that? I don't know how I'm going to do a cartwheel. I only know it is now, and for that I'm fulfilled and grateful. We have to plant the seeds. The seed is of faith. When you plant a seed, you don't stand over it and say, grow, you little tomato seed, grow, or you little, do you? You have faith in God, in nature, in the air, in the water, that it'll grow. You have faith. We have to have that kind of faith that our intentions for the highest good of all are what God wants. Because who are you? God in skin. You have the ability to transform your life, to transform the life of this church, to transform the life of the community. We cannot let others steal our power. It's been happening, and we have to stop that. We, the people, and we can do that by powerful intentions. I want to say thank you before to end to all the, and I don't know who's even on the board. I don't even know who's on the search committee. But I want to thank you for your hard work and your dedication to the cause, to servicing the community of Sheboygan. I go to many, many churches all over Illinois. By the way, Unity of Oak Park is looking for a minister, too. I don't know if any of you have been to Unity of Oak Park, but that is huge congregation down there. I don't know, but anyhow, I go there. I go all over the place. I go to different evangelical churches. I go all over to learn. And yet there is no place that I go. When I was just down in Florida with Shar, I went someplace. There is no place I know that has what Unity of Sheboygan has. Trust me, I know of that which I speak. Now laser your intentions, your personal intentions, and your intentions for a minister tonight, together. Now what are we going to say at 8 o'clock tonight? We are attracting the right minister. I only know that it is now, and for that I am fulfilled and grateful. Don't forget your own intentions also. Namaste. Thank you.